Hey guys, how's it going? It's Leon here. Today I want to talk about non-attachment, whether it's possible to be completely non-attached so that you could pursue the things that you're passionate about in life, or a relationship, or something you find purposeful, or it could be a job or any sort of activity. Is it possible to do anything in life without a feeling of attachment? And we all want to be there because attachment is very stressful, because when you get attached to something, you're afraid of losing something. You're afraid, there's a lot of emotions that are tied up with a sense of attachment. We get frustrated when we do things. We get anxious when we do things. Is it possible to make it go away? And my answer to that is that this is not what non-attachment is about. It's not about having absolutely no sense of attachment. So that may seem kind of confusing or a contradiction. But if you were to read Eastern philosophy, if you look into Taoism, for example, it talks about being non-attached to non-attachment. It's not possible for us to behave like robots and to have absolutely no feelings whatsoever. This is not what non-attachment is about. In fact, if you believe that, that is a very strong indication of attachment. We get attached very strongly to the idea of, I don't want to feel anything. I just want to pursue this thing without having any sort of feelings of attachment with it, without feeling any sort of frustration, without any sort of anxiety, or without any feeling of loss. And because we really don't want to experience these kind of feelings, what happens is that we end up not pursuing anything in life, because we get attached to the idea of comfort, that we don't want to experience any sort of pain. So non-attachment is not about experiencing absolutely no suffering or pain at all. It's about being able to pursue things in life despite the fact that you could have all sorts of emotions regarding it. So the way I look at non-attachment is that non-attachment is a lot like courage, having courage. You probably have heard about that phrase that it goes like this: courage is not the absence of fear. It is being able to do something that you're afraid of despite the feeling of fear, despite carrying that emotion. So non-attachment is the same thing. Non-attachment is the ability to do something even though you might become attached to that thing, even though you have fears, even though you might have doubts along the way, even if you become scared, or you might be afraid of losing that thing, or you might have sadness, you might have feelings of getting stuck, etc. So non-attachment, that's what it is at a higher level. It's not about getting rid of attachment. Attachment is there, but at a higher level, non-attachment is being able to pursue things despite us being human beings, despite us having all sorts of emotions and being capable of pain and also suffering. That is what non-attachment is. Attachment has to do with wanting to escape from the human experience, wanting to believe that all what makes us human should just go away, right? So what non-attachment really is about is how do we respond to the human condition. So despite all these emotions and negative thoughts, what is our attitude towards life? How do we respond to having these negative thoughts and emotions? And things that we could practice is meditation, being able to learn self-regulation, being able to sit with our emotions and negative thoughts without having to control them, and yet continuing on our path, continuing on pursuing a sense of purpose in our lives. So I'm going to leave you with an image here. The human condition's like surfing waves. You're going to learn how to be able to ride the waves. So say that you have positive thoughts and emotions, being able to really ride out that wave. But even if you were to do so pretty well, eventually you're going to just inevitably fall off that wave and you're going to have a bad time. And what you do is you learn how to pick yourself back up and get back on that wave, right? But understandably, it's challenging. It's challenging to do so. The waters could be really turbulent in life, but over time we could practice and we could get better. But it's not about just getting rid of the human experience. That's not what non-attachment is about. After reviewing what I said, what I meant to say is not simply just riding positive thoughts or positive emotions, but also being able to ride out negative thoughts and negative emotions like you are a surfer in a meditative kind of way. And you're on the wave and then you're off the wave. But when you go through that whole entire process, it's from a standpoint of non-attachment. This is what non-attachment really is. It is not anti-attachment. It is not the absence of attachment. Non-attachment is acting despite attachment. It is acting without fighting attachment. It is acting without being ruled by attachment. It is acting with compassion towards attachment, and thus it is free. And this is from a little essay that I've written on my website, leonpsychotherapy.com. If you want to read the rest of it, I have it linked in the description box. Thank you so much for watching.